Today, I have 7 top Bible verses for self-care. If you find that you are so very, very, very busy that you don't have time to take care of yourself, then this video is for you. My name is Miriam Bolton. I help wives who find challenges in neurodiverse relationships, and I help them to regain who they are and find joy. 1 Corinthians 3:16 says, Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? How is a temple treated? Now let's think back to the temple being the Old Testament building where people went to worship God. And the Bible is likening our bodies to a temple. So think, how do you take care of your church where you attend today? Somebody keeps it vacuumed, they keep it painted, they take care of it, and it's the best possible place it can be so that you can worship together in a place of beauty when you worship God. God says, Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? Don't you want to keep your temple beautiful and keep it clean and ready for the Holy Spirit living in you? Daniel 1:8-9 says, But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Part of self-care is what we eat. Now Daniel was given a king's feast. It was royal food. We have access to so much food, whether it's good or not good for us, and good for you might not be good for me. And I say that because someone who can eat a sandwich made out of wheat, someone else might not be able to eat that same wholesome food because of the wheat and the gluten. So what kind of food helps your temple to be clean and well-functioning and beautiful? Because truly the foods that you eat can make your eyes clear and your skin better and your hair beautiful. So what foods are you choosing? And I just want to put a little bit of a thing in here on food. When you are looking at your food choices, and if we look at it and we say, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, then we're focusing on what we can't eat, which focuses on the struggles of the eating, rather than focusing on, you know what, I need to get enough of these essential nutrients to feed my body so that it doesn't crave the things that aren't so good for me. Luke 5:16 says, And he, meaning Jesus, withdrew himself into the wilderness and prayed. Jesus had just healed a man full of leprosy and told him, Don't tell anybody what I just did. Well, the man didn't obey. He told people. He was so excited. I mean, how can you not tell when you've been healed of something that it's just life-changing and devastating? I mean, think of cancer. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you have no evidence of disease, you just want to go tell everybody. And Jesus did this for him. And so Jesus became very famous. And instead of going into the city, he went out into the desert where a mob actually followed him. They went with him to hear Jesus, and they wanted to be healed. And I just want to stop a minute because I have a thought with this one. Don't you want to be the kind of person that people want to be with you? Self-care can do that. It can help you to be the best person you can be. Now, the Bible doesn't say whether or not Jesus healed those people, but it does say he withdrew into the wilderness and prayed. So here's what I take from this verse. Run away and pray. I have a dear friend who has a timeshare, and she took me out there one time when the kids were little, and I just needed time away. And I went away. I had my Bible. I had a book. I cried. I prayed. I read. And I went away. I withdrew myself. And it was a very healing experience just to be gone 24 hours. And even that one, I don't know if I was gone 24 hours, but even for the day, 8 hours makes a difference. Mark 6:31-32 says, And he said unto them, Come ye yourselves apart into a desert place, and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by ship privately. Oh, wouldn't you like to get on a ship and just go away, get on a plane and just go away and rest? You can find a place where you can close the door and rest. And it says that they didn't have time to eat. Are you that kind of a person where you're doing so much for your family, your children, your husband, you're involved in church, you do stuff for your neighbors, you do things for school where your children are, that you don't take time to eat properly? I don't mean you don't take time to eat at all, because we have fast food. Jesus did not have fast food back then, other than when he provided the miracle of the loaves and the fishes. That was fast food. But do you take time to eat, plan your meals, and prepare them and eat properly? Do you have no leisure? And Webster defines leisure as vacant time. You look through your day. Do you have a few minutes of vacant time where you're not responsible to do anything for anybody, and you can have vacant time just for a few moments? Exodus 18:14 through 18. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou alone? And all the people stand by thee from morning to evening." And Moses said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people come unto me and inquire of God." See, he was doing a really good thing. When they have a matter, they come to me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, "The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone." Was Moses doing a good thing? Why, of course he was doing a good thing. He was helping people solve their problem. He was teaching them God's laws. Was Moses doing himself a good thing? No. And what happens is, if Moses had continued, he could have been literally burnt out, emotionally, physically, spiritually, just burnt out. And his father-in-law had the wisdom to tell him, get help. And maybe there's something that you need help with. And you think, but I can't afford to pay somebody for help. Maybe you can exchange with a friend, exchange babysitting for a few hours, exchange housework where you go and do some work with them, they do some work with you. I have a whole list of self-care ideas in the link below, so I hope you go and avail yourself of that. But sometimes you have to say no to some things. And an example of that was, I was on bed rest with one of my pregnancies for many months. I had been doing all of the things that you do at home, the housework, the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, and the purchasing of the food, taking care of the child we had. I taught piano lessons, I played for church, okay, on and on and on it went. And when my doctor said to me, "What are you going to do when you go on bed rest?" And I said, "Not pay the bills," because I thought our finances would be too limited. Never mind all the other things that I was doing. And one of the best things that came out of bed rest was, when I was unable to do all those activities, somebody else stepped in and took care of all the necessary things. And I found, I'm not indispensable. It was so freeing, because I can be involved in activities, but if for some reason I cannot do the activity any longer, God has someone else to step in and take that load. Genesis 2:2 and 3 says, "And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made." Don't you think if God needed rest, God, the creator of the universe, the all-knowing, all-powerful God, if he took a day of rest, isn't it important for us to take rest? And I know as I was growing up, the Sunday in our church, Sunday was considered the day of rest. Well, I want to say that when I attend church on Sunday, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and some of you are involved in the nursery, teaching Sunday school, leading the ladies' Bible Sunday school class, maybe you play the piano or do a special or have some part in the service, and then you come back early at night to be at choir practice again and do it all over again. That all of the Sunday activities are necessary, they're important, and to be in God's house with God's people and fellowshipping with them is one of the most wonderful self-care things you can do for yourself. But I don't look at it as a day of rest. There are a few hours in the afternoon that can be restful, but it's not a restful day overall. It's the Lord's day, and that's the day that I give to Him for the activities around what God would have me to do. So it's not a day of work where I'm working on work things. You need to take a day of rest, and I don't mean the whole day. I'm just saying take time, set it a time, purposefully set aside time where you can get away. You can rest emotionally, mentally, spiritually, have a time for prayer, Bible reading, and just rest. I hope that helps you. Please click the links below if you want to connect and get more help. As a wife who is married to someone on the autism spectrum, whether that's considered Asperger's or high-functioning autism, and click on the link to get your free PDF of more self-care tips so that you can be the person that God made you to be and have joy.